The Point, your number one choice for news and entertainment in the 419. Hosted by Raquel Flanagan. Real news, real issues for the real you. With interaction from Facebook and Twitter. Plus, the 419 Entertainment Spotlight. Welcome to The Point in full HD.
Welcome to The Point. I'm Raquel Flanagan, and we're recording live. The Point is an interactive show that welcomes your point of view. So log on now to your Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter page and let us know what's on your mind. Coming up later, we have Julius Brown with additional commentary. Also, we have Delisha, the vibrant vegan, plus an insight on Black racial profiling with Brother Washington Muhammad and community activist Donald Land. But first up, according to the Toledo Blade, General Motors offered $25,000 for a reward on information about nooses and whites-only signs being hung at its plant in Toledo. Toledo Mayor Wade, in a letter last week to General Motors, referenced claims by 9 Black employees who filed a lawsuit against Toledo Powertrain, where components are made of various Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, and Cadillac vehicles.
They investigated quickly and have done remedial things to take care of the problem.
The commission disagrees with that position. GM did not do very much at all, or what they did do was not effective.
I believe we have a mutual interest to use this as an opportunity to let your employees, as well as our residents and visitors, know that we are committed to a diverse, inclusive, and welcoming work environment, the mayor said in his letter to GM. CNN published a sketchy report in January about the culture at the Toledo plant through interviews with 2 men who worked there, Marcus Boyd and Derek Brooks. The GM Toledo transmission plant, John Chavez, GM CEO, addresses racist workplace misconduct during visits to Toledo. Boyd said the N-word was a regular part of life at the plant. Brooks said he found a noose hanging in the area where he worked. As the only Black employee in that space on his shift, he believed it was meant to intimidate him. In total, 5 nooses were found and reported to GM, according to the lawsuit. A federal judge in Delaware approved HCR ManorCare's latest plan to emerge from bankruptcy protection under the control of ProMedica and Welltower. Though the deal had some hurdles, it did clear. Earlier this spring, the Toledo-based nursing home operator filed an expedited bankruptcy plan to effectively transfer ownership of itself to Quality Care Properties, Inc., a Maryland-based real estate investment trust that was owed tens of millions of dollars in unpaid rent by HCR ManorCare.
It's really exciting, all the possibilities, and you and I have talked a lot about this. When you think about the 2 organizations and the breadth of services and capabilities we have, I don't think there's any other organization in the country that has what we have. I mean, we have a health plan. You guys have an acute care hospital system. You've got a physician group. You've got an academic affiliation with the University of Toledo. Then you come over to our company and we've got skilled nursing, assisted living, outpatient rehab services, home health and hospice.
But after Judge Kevin Gross of U.S. Bankruptcy Court approved that plan, ManorCare and QCP announced they had struck a new deal with ProMedica and Welltower. Under that agreement, which Judge Gross signed off on, Welltower will pay $20.75 per share or $1.95 billion to purchase Quality Care Properties, while ProMedica will pay $300 million in cash and assume $1.1 billion in ManorCare debt in return for control of its nearly 500 assisted living, skilled nursing, and home health and hospice centers. ProMedica's acquisition of the HCR ManorCare business is predicated on the sale of QCP to Welltower. Welltower and ProMedica would then form an 80-20 joint venture that would own the real estate related to the ManorCare business and lease that back to ProMedica. It's a complicated deal, but one that has big implications for Toledo. ManorCare, the nation's second largest nursing home operator, has more than 700 employees. In national news, there's quite a situation going on with Drake. And to shed some insight on that, we have Julius Brown. Julius, can you explain to us what's going on with Drake?
News reports claim platinum-selling rapper Drake is in the headlines after a video of Drake kissing and groping a teenage girl has surfaced on the internet in recent days. The clip, which dates back to 2010, shows Drake, who was 24 at the time, dancing with the girl on stage during the concert. and at times he's kissing and caressing her breast. Now, I watched the video 3 times. I didn't see any groping or kissing of the breast. What I did see was Drake giving her a couple pecks, bowing out gracefully after he found out her age. Good luck with that, Drake. Speaking of videos, a third video of R. Kelly sexually abusing an underage girl has surfaced. Attorney Michael Avenatti shared this on Twitter, writing, "We have become aware of the existence of a third tape that allegedly shows further acts of sexual abuse of an underage girl by R. Kelly for 45 minutes. R. Kelly's lawyer, Steve Greenberg, denied all claims, yet again."
And that's not all the drama. We also have an update on Empire's Jussie Smollett. Can you inform us in terms of what's going on with that?
Well, Raquel, the Chicago Police Department officially classified Smollett as a suspect in an ongoing criminal investigation for filing a false report. Now, police are seeking a Class 4 felony charge, and detectives are currently presenting evidence before a Cook County grand jury.
Have you heard anything about him possibly writing that letter to himself?
Well, some sources claim he did. I mean, as of now, the FBI and the United States Postal Service is currently investigating whether he mailed the letter or not. So therefore, it's still not clear, Raquel.
Thanks a lot, Julius. And with that, we still find that there's so much racial profiling going on. And actually, we have a guest here today to actually shed some light in on racial profiling and, people making phone calls about crimes or not crimes that Black people are doing and making issues out of situations that should be nothing at all. Some insight on that, we have Brother Washington Muhammad and community activist Don Lynn. Welcome to The Point.
Thanks for having me, Raquel.
Oh, thanks for having me on your show.
Lately, we've seen a lot of stories where the police have been called on Blacks for no crime at all. What do you have to say about the gentleman in the hotel?
Well, I see it as a reoccurring trend that's from those who live in affluent areas where Black people live to the dollar store where we saw Coupon Carl call the police on a woman that wanted to use a valid coupon. And I just think that is pervasive in our community right now that we see so many white people calling the police on Black people for walking down the street, for being at their own swimming pool in their own apartment, even approaching people that actually live in their apartment complex. So I think that it may or may not be something that's coming down from from the corporate headquarters to the employees. But I've just seen regarding white people in general, how they've been emboldened to talk to Black people in a particular way, how they feel more encouraged to disrespect small children and elderly women. And I think that it's going to continue until we decide to do something about it.
Don, do you feel as if there should be a serious crime against those that are making calls on non-issues against Blacks?
First of all, I don't know the situation where the young man was calling his mother in the hotel and they called the police on him. I'm not aware of that, but I am aware of the fact that these incidents where white people are calling the police on Black people just out of their own fears or their intuition of what they think is going on, I do truly believe that has a lot to do with what's going on with the Trump administration. People do feel empowered by this administration to say what they want to say because they're the man as the head of this country right now. He's doing somewhat of the same thing. So yeah, I believe white people are more empowered to say certain things, and I know it's a certain type of white person that has this type of mindset.
And do you feel as if some of the calls that are coming from places like Dollar General and CVS, do you feel as if they're actually being forced or encouraged to make those calls by some of the higher ups?
First I'd have to take it back to the to the Democrats' devastating loss to Donald Trump. And I think that their poor performance led the way for what's called dog whistling. That's when you heard the president say one thing, but another group heard something else. And what it did was peel back the layer of civility. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said that the rise of overt white racism is like the peeling back of an onion. So what we've seen in the past, over the last few years is the barbecue Pat, the Airbnb Susan, all of these people that call the police on black people for just existing. And it just shows that America has not moved forward. It stayed right where it always has been.
Now, Brother Muhammad, how can we get in touch with you?
You can reach us on Facebook at Community Solidarity Response Network of Toledo. Just type it in. It should drop down. You can also come and meet us at the Padua Center, 1416 Nebraska, every Tuesday at 6 p.m. And we could be. You can call us at 419-973-0248.
And Don, how can we get in touch with you as well?
Well, I appreciate the opportunity to speak to the community. If anything I've said and somebody is curious about it, you can always reach me at on email at ToledoDonald@AOL.com. That's ToledoDonald@AOL.com. I would really appreciate talking with people about the Kwanzaa and about the Junction organization. Those are two community organizations that I'm passionate about, and I see that they're doing some things that are very instrumental to their community. So I thank you for this opportunity to express myself.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us.
Oh,
Thank
thanks
you
for
for
having me
having
on your show.
Up next, we have the vibrant vegan, Delicia.
Hey. Let's burn it up, let's burn it up, let's burn it up. Yeah. Let's chop it up, let's chop it up, let's chop it up. Yeah. Let's burn it up, let's burn it up, let's burn it up. Yeah. Let's chop it up, let's chop it up. I don't care what you call me.
Welcome back. Up next, we have the vibrant vegan, speaking more about our health and wellness.
Hi everyone, welcome to 419 The Point. I'm Delisha with Vibrant Vegan, and today I wanted to talk about the new popular keto diet and some important factors to consider if you think this diet is right for you. The keto diet consists of consuming high-fat, low-carbohydrate meals. When we eat carbohydrates, the body stores it as glycogen, and this is the body's preferred source of energy. So by reducing the carbohydrate intake, the body is forced to use the stored glycogen for energy, thus dissolving the excess water that is used to store the glucose cells, causing temporary weight loss. The high-fat intake helps to reduce cravings and makes you feel fuller longer. The problem with this method of weight loss is that the results are fairly new. There has been no long-term studies on what ketosis does to the body for an extended amount of time. By limiting carbohydrates, the body is not getting the adequate amount of phytonutrients, antioxidants, and fiber. While some may notice short-term results for type 2 diabetes, it really only masks the underlying problem, which is insulin resistance. Low-carb diets foster inflammation and cause fat to build up in cells, promoting diabetes over time. The main thing to be aware of is the increased cases of cardiovascular disease for people who are in ketosis. Eating animal products to fulfill the fat and protein requirements results in high cholesterol levels, which is very dangerous, especially for the heart. This is Delisha reporting for 419 The Point.
And if you have any questions, please make sure you log into our Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter and like and subscribe. I'm Raquel Flanagan, and until next time, act now, stick to the facts, and get to the point.